Hi, in this video we'll try to define difference between primary chargeable resources, provided depend charges, and optional resources. So first of all, let's start from the primary chargeable resources. This is a RAM and CPU. RAM and CPU are measured in Gelastic resource unit, which is called cloudlet. So one cloudlet is roughly equivalent to 128 megabytes of RAM memory and 200 megahertz of CPU time. So first of all, if we want to check the current usage of cloudlets right from the dashboard, it's displayed in this section. So it means that two cloudlets from 12 which is available are currently being used at the moment. RAM and CPU resources are dynamic resources. What it means? It means that, for example, during the day, when your application has big load, big activity from the customers, it means that amount of cloudlets, actually RAM or CPU, can be increased, and vice versa during the night. For example, amount of cloudlets can be decreased, and so as a result customer will pay less in comparison with the daily cloudlet usage. So dynamic resources means that customer will pay for used resources only. Let's proceed. Next, provided depend charges. In Gelastic, each container by default consumes some amount of disk space. So it's also possible to get it charged and to set specific amount of money for that usage. So how to do? Let's see. If we navigate to GCA, Gelastic Cluster Admin Panel, here is a special, for example, tariff at our demo platform, but it's also available at your platform. There is a tariff which is called storage, and in the right section you see details concerning that tariff, so few tiers and so on. So it's also possible to make it absolutely free, but it's fully up to you. The same idea is can be applied to traffic. When we say traffic, we are talking about external traffic only. So it means that, for example, if I have Tomcat in my environment and MySQL database also in my environment, so connection between these instances actually is set by means of local networks. So all traffic is not chargeable, which can be present between Tomcat and MySQL. So for example, if we make some kind of SQL queries or some select or even update queries, so it will not be charged for that customer. So if we are talking about traffic, we are talking about external traffic only, which can be as an output or an input based traffic for a specific container. For example, let's check that. If we are talking about Tomcat, there is specific button statistics opposite to each instance in Gelastic. So it's also possible to check that. So you see that this environment is not active, so all values are set to 0, so no external traffic, etc. Let's proceed. And The last group, this is optional extras such as public IP and Elastic SSL. Let's see how it looks like. They are not dynamic, sure. They can be set and turn off at any moment. For example, by means of change topology functionality, so it's possible to turn public IP on, for example, for that Tomcat, or just to activate Elastic SSL at dawn for that environment. What I want actually to cover is the difference between running environments and environment states like sleeping, stopped, for example. So first of all, that you need to keep in mind is that during running state, dynamic resources are being consumed, for example. For example, in my environment, connection dash example, there are Tomcat and MySQL instances, so they are running actually, and at the moment they are they consume resources like cloudlets and disk space. But as soon as any environment gets stopped or gets slept, starting from that state change, environment starts to consume disk space, for example, only, and no dynamic resources like cloudlets, because the system doesn't allocate resources for them, but this space is still in use, so customer will pay for that, and also will pay for such resources like public IP and Elastic SSL, even environment is stopped or has a state sleeping state.